Welcome back, guys. Today we're out here on the range bringing you a historical gun. It's the Star Model BM. This gun here was produced from 1972 to about 1992. It's designed by the Star Company for the Spanish military and their National Guard, and it served in their military for about 20 years. During the run of that 20 years, Star produced about 250,000 of the Star Model BM that would serve in the military and National Guard. After doing some research, I discovered some history about the Model BM. So the Model BM is the little brother to the Model B. The standard magazine is an 8-round single stack magazine. The gun itself is a single action only gun. One thing about this gun is it's very 1911-ish. It's not 1911, but a lot of the idea from it came from that. You can see here it does have a manual thumb safety, kind of like a 1911, but you're not using a grip safety. A lot of other simulations between that is in the TV show MASH, the Model B and Model BM were used in that show as a cheap alternative to a 1911, and also because they could use 9mm blanks easier in the Model B and BM than they could in 1911s. It would cycle better just because of the way blanks work. It's a pretty fun gun to shoot. So getting down to the size of this gun, this is going to be similar to like a Commander style 1911. The weight of it is 34 ounces. The barrel length is 3.7 inches with an overall length of 7.5 inches and a height of 5 inches. So those are approximate measurations. That's what I took. So this gun does shoot 9mm. It'll come with one 8-round magazine of 9mm. Now, you could buy some extras. I got this gun from Classic Firearms. I was able to find some extra magazines for roughly $20, so I picked up 4 total. So this gun does really feel very similar to a Commander style 1911. It's very slim, so the ergonomics on it very well. I believe it's got 18-degree grip angle or around that. The thumb safety, it's very easy to use when you bring that up and getting on target. The sights are a very military style of sight. You got a front sight posts with notches. They're just blacked out sights. The front sight is fixed, so you can't adjust the front sight. The rear sight is windage adjustable. But we'll take some shots here and very controllable. The trigger on it is pretty good for what it is. So it is very easy to actually control this gun. The weight does help somewhat in there. Let's take a look at that trigger. So it is going to have a hinge trigger, unlike the 1911, which has a straight trigger. In addition to the thumb safety this gun has, it also has a magazine disconnect safety. So if you don't have a magazine in there, that gun is not going to do anything. So I'm going to throw an empty magazine in here, just to give that example. So once you throw that in there, you can then pull the trigger. Now it does have a very short break on it. So it is roughly 5 pounds, and I do have a trigger gauge out here to test it. So got a trigger gauge here, and okay, so yeah, you can see there that is right about 5.5 pounds. So on the trigger gauge, we pulled it at right about 5 pounds, and yes, where we're dry firing that at, it is a safe direction. Same place we're firing downrange. There's a big berm there. We don't have an issue there. And just to give you an idea for the sights are just a notch and post. It's a very military style of sight. So right now, we're going to be testing the accuracy on that small target down there. That's a 12-inch miniature IPSC target. We're about 20 yards from that target, but I do fully expect this gun to be able to make those shots. We did experience a few more malfunctions. This gun is starting to run a little sluggish. Again, it hasn't been cleaned. You probably want to clean this gun every 200 to 300 rounds and make sure it's oiled. We have not been doing that. If you do your part and have good sight alignment, sight picture, equal height, equal light with your sights, you can be very accurate with this gun. I made it earlier, I was at 50 yards and I had a half-size IPSC target. I was able to connect with that too. So next thing that comes up is the ergonomics on the handgun. So the controls on it are very similar. If you already have experience shooting handguns, it's going to come very naturally. The magazine release here, you can still get it without breaking a good grip on that gun. So you don't have to rotate your gun. So that fits pretty well with a medium-sized hand. I have medium hands. They're not super big, but they're also not super small. And without breaking my grip, I can still hit that magazine release. Now, one thing to consider, they are not drop-free magazines, so you do have to strip that out. The safety on the gun is pretty natural to hit. Bring that up out of your holster. As you're bringing that on target, you can hit that safety, turn it off, make a pretty quick first round shot. The gun is pretty easy to field strip. We'll head over to the bench and take a look at that here in a minute. Hey guys, we're back in from the range, so now we're going to take a look at the box the Star Model B came in, and we're also going to disassemble it. Now, not all of the Star Model BMs came in the same box. The original box, over the years, might have been gone, destroyed, something like that happens, so some of them are coming in cardboard boxes. I got lucky, and I did get an original green box. So the green boxes are here. It has stars, it has the Star logo on here. Just says Star Firearms. On the back we do have a shipping label from AIM Surplus. So I was mistaken earlier. I did purchase some AIM Surplus, not classic firearms. That's a simple mistake. It's been a couple years. I've looked at both of them. But they did both sell this gun at one time. You got the logo on front. Once we open up the box, we can see here, we do get the owner's manual from Star. Now, most of this is in another language, so unless you know that language, good luck looking at this. You can find some other copies online or run it through like Google Translator if you really need to. But you do have a owner's manual here. It does look like a decent owner's manual if you can read that language. And you do have some pretty good detailed drawings in here of the actual gun. So you might be able to piece that together and kind of see what's going on if you need to. And of course, the shipping label is in here too. In the box, it does leave room for one magazine, and then the gun's here. So, then you also have the gun. Now, there's a magazine in the gun. Most places were selling it with the gun and the pay extra for the magazines. I did purchase 3 extra magazines. Now with that, you can fit all 4 magazines in this box. I do. It is a little tighter when you put 4 in here, but it is doable. And you also do get a cleaning rod here. Now there's not much this is actually compatible with, such as your modern cleaning rods, cleaning brushes, but you could at least throw some of those cotton patches in here to run down the barrel. Or if you get a stuck casing, this is a steel rod, so that is nice. So if you get a stuck casing or something like that, you can use that to tap out the stuck casing. Just so you can see, it does fit in just like that. If you want to keep it all together with some extra mags, it will definitely fit in the box. After we got that out of the way, now we're going to take this down and field strip it just so you can see. So when you are field stripping this, all the same rules apply no matter what you're doing. Treat all firearms as if loaded. Finger off trigger, muzzle in safe direction, know your target. All those rules apply. So when you're starting off, make sure you unload the gun and you keep finger off trigger, safe direction. That way you don't have NDs. First thing I'm going to do when disassembling it, make sure it is unloaded. I'm going to drop the magazine. There is no round in chamber. So to disassemble this gun, we have a notch right there. So that notch is just purely for disassembly. Safety notch is here, so when we take the gun on and off safe, the notch in the slide, the safety will lock into. You'll pull the slide back. You'll then push up on the safety, locking the slide to the rear. At this point, you can then push on the slide release here. So if I push through, that part does come out, pushing out that slide catch. Now when you do this, sometimes you have to wiggle that slide catch just a little bit, because there's a little tab on here that will catch on your slide every once in a while. So then at this point, you'll just hit this safety, releasing the slide forward. You'll then push it off. Sometimes that also gets a little stuck, so if it's a little snug, just push it off. If you have to beat on it with a hammer, you probably forgot a step. So now that we got the slide off, you Glock haters out there will probably like this gun because you don't have to dry fire it. Okay, but now that we have the slide off, next step's pretty simple. We'll take the recoil spring. Here it will not come straight out. What you have to do is basically turn it, giving you some clearance, and then you can pull the recoil spring out. So that part there is pretty simple. Now you have a barrel bushing. You'll rotate the barrel bushing and pull that out. You'll be rotating clockwise. So that's pretty simple. Just rotate the barrel bushing, pull it straight out. Now you'll just fiddle with the barrel a little bit and then push it straight through. Now if the barrel is not wanting to come out, you probably just need to push on the top there because it's probably just locked into the slide. Again, a little bit of force is fine with your fingers. If you're having to pound on it, something's probably wrong. And that there is the basic disassembly. You have the frame. It is a fairly hefty frame. The slide, your barrel, recoil and guide rod, barrel bushing, and then slide catch. So, magazine. It's pretty simple if you include the magazine. 7 parts, if not 6. When you go put it back together, basically the exact opposite, just go in reverse. So now, exact opposite, barrel, followed by barrel bushing. Rotate that, put in your slide catch. That will pop in like so. You'll then rotate then from there, just simply. Also on the controls, you do have a slide catch here. Now, that is a little bit of a reach, even with longer fingers, but it's definitely doable. So when you come in and do a magazine change, you can still hit it, again, without rotating your grip. If you have smaller hands, you might have to rotate your grip a little more to hit that, or just simply when you drop that magazine, when you feed that next round in, just overhand rack it. That's also another way to do it if you just can't hit that slide release. Here's an important thing to consider when you're racking your slide, is you want to make sure your trigger finger is not riding this button right there, because that is the other slide of your slide catch. So the issue with that is if you're racking that slide, pushing on that, you can see there, my slide catch just came out. So you gotta make sure you don't do that, so you don't lose this piece. In this environment, it's not a big deal. I can just pick it up, but to say use this gun in a self-defense role, or you had a range that's a little pickier, you might have some issues finding if it falls below in front of the firing line. They might not allow you to get it for safety reasons. So I just keep my finger higher up off the slide so I don't hit that and you don't have any issues. When you're obviously shooting, you shouldn't have an issue there because your finger is on the trigger and not on that slide release, so when it cycles. But when you're racking the slide, just make sure your finger is off your slide catch. As far as some other accessories that do work, we do have a mag cooler here. We've got an 8-round magazine. The mag coolers still work on these mags. So that's a great thing there. You can also find holsters available for this gun. It fits a lot of 1911 holsters, especially the Commander holsters. Some leather holsters, there are some Kydex holsters available. Right now I'm using a Kydex holster. I'm not going to give the name. I'm not a big fan of it, but it does work for this gun. Some other things to consider with this gun, the price point. When I picked this gun up, it was around $300. Now, because it's a surplus gun, the prices are going up. So if you find this gun and you want it, it's better jump on that bandwagon now before the demand is high and the supply is low. So get it while you can. So it was around $300 when I got it. Surplus guns go up. Extra magazines, you're looking about $20 at the time I got it. These prices are subject to change, and last time I checked, Classic Firearms was sold out, but they do get shipments in often. The magazines themselves are 8-round magazines. 3 of mine are actually 8 rounds. I have one that will not let me put that 8th round in there, so it's really just a 7-round magazine. So why might you want this gun? This gun fits a number of roles. If you like history, it's a big part of history. A lot of people are military collectors, and having military firearms is a big interest for them, and that could be this goal here. If you're wanting something that could be good for concealed carry, this could fit that role. I personally would not carry it. My carry gun's a Glock 34. I'd much rather carry that over this here, but this is a budget option, and if you like history, it fills 2 goals at one. Now, I'm not going to recommend this for concealed carry, but it could fit that role. It could be a collector's gun, especially in the future. Right now, they're pretty available, but 10, 20 years from now, it could really be a collector's gun. So these guns right now are 40 to 50 years old, depending on the year yours was made. So it's good to get them while you can. With that being said, it's going to be hard to find parts when they break, so it might not be a gun you want to run a lot of. But it's still fun to take to the range. If you can pick them up cheap, it could also be a good option if you're wanting a range gun or a EDC or stash gun. Buy and forget option. So if you got a bug out bag that you're not wanting to throw a $500 Glock 19 in, but you want a backup gun in there in case you don't have time or you can't get to your carry gun, you still have a gun in there, or you could possibly arm someone else. So that could fit this role well if you can pick them up for under $300. I would still tend to go with something else. But with that being said, if this is a carry gun, reliability is a big issue. So how reliable is it? Can see here is a little bit of an older gun, so I will give it a break if it has a few malfunctions here and there. So having to strip that mag, I found that the reliability is pretty good for a surplus gun. That being said, out of a couple hundred rounds, I have had a couple malfunctions of failure to feed. That's expected in a 50-year-old gun. But if you can maintain it well, switch out the springs, it might be more reliable for you. If you decide to carry it, I would definitely make sure it is reliable before you put your life on the line with this gun. That being said, again, a couple hundred rounds, few malfunctions. I've had 2 out of 500 rounds, so that's not horrible, and I haven't cleaned it. If you keep it clean, lubricated, you might have less. Again, that's going to be determined by yours. This gun does have a history of serving in the military and police, so it has roughly 20 years worth of service behind it, so it has been proven in that aspect there. If you look at the Spanish language, medra in English means medium, so that's where the BM kind of gets its name. It's the medium version of the Model B. Now that's something we can't really ask Star because they went out of business. The company closed in 1992, but from what I gathered, that's how this gun got its name. It's the Model BM for Model B medium, because this here is kind of like a 1911 Commander style of gun. It's a smaller size than the Model B. With all that in mind, do I recommend this gun? It really depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for a historical gun, yes, absolutely, that's a fun gun. It's fun to shoot at the range. It has multiple purposes, but it does have some reliability issues. Out of 500 rounds, I did have several malfunctions. Are those a big issue? Maybe, maybe not. If it's just a range gun, maybe not. I didn't test it with any hollow points, so there's another thing to consider too, is just ball ammo. Will hollow points malfunction this? At the time, they did not design this really to use hollow points. Is most likely just FMJ, NATO spec ammo. It's mostly what they were using back then. So definitely, if you're thinking about using it for self-defense, to test your carry ammo. If It's cheaper to test it around now when you don't need it than it is to test it when that buzzer starts. The buzzer starts that moment the bad guy decides to attack you. So it's better to test it now than when the buzzer starts. If you have determined that is reliable and you decide to carry it because you like history, that's on you. If you do want to carry it, you might look around, see if you can find replacement springs and do a spring job to it, and then thoroughly test it and make sure it does work. Now, if you're just looking for a gun for self-defense, there are modern options that are better. The MP Shield, right around the same price, if not way cheaper. You can get those for $249, if not $199 on sale. So if you're just purely looking for a defensive gun, go with the Shield or something like that. If you want something with some history, or you like this style of gun for range use, or you're wanting a gun that fits history but you could also use it for self-defense, that's where you might look at this gun. The bigger thing is it's a fun gun to shoot at the range. It's a piece of history. So for the history aspect, it's a win-win. From a self-defense standpoint, unless you have one of those other things with history, I would go with something else. And if you made it this far, we'd like to thank you for watching our videos. Please like, subscribe, and leave your comments below. We'll see you next time.